I'll just narrate what I'm doing. And you all can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So back to where we were, CTLE. It's one of the most exciting parts of this conference, because if you need CTLE, you're going to bank them that week. So about 28 hours you'll receive. And I put this in housekeeping because it's very important that you keep track, and I just want to keep it in your mind, keep track of the workshops that you attended. If for some reason you weren't feeling well, you didn't go to one workshop, or you were having a great conversation with somebody in the hallway and there was one session that you didn't get to a workshop, that's okay. We understand that. And we are going to, you just keep track of that. So we can't give you that hour if you didn't go to instruction, but that's okay. If you end up with 27 or 26 hours, you're going to have to report back to us afterwards which sessions you went to. The other important thing about that is that the general sessions, where we have your meal functions, because there are keynote speakers, you also earn CTLE going to those, which is pretty cool. But you do have to keep track of, which general sessions you went to. Hopefully you come to all of them because they're all great. But there is instruction that happens at those. So just putting that at the forefront of your mind. After this call, you're going to receive a couple things. You're going to get the recording to this call. You are going to also get a Dropbox link where you can access some important documents. That's going to be a quick one-pager that shows you everything. I would print it before you leave and make sure you have it handy. It has your hotel addresses. It has the conference center address. It has just tips and mine and Sarah's cell phone numbers. So just in case you're traveling and you're like, what is Katie's number? I don't know where I am, what I'm doing. They're not, my room isn't ready for some crazy reason. Call us and we'll help with that situation. So that's an important tool. There's also going to be some other fun things in there that you'll want. Also, as a housekeeping note, if you decided to purchase on your own a pre or post-conference tour, that would be to New York City for an Adirondack adventure, or to Cooperstown at the end of your conference experience, please let me know. So send me an email, just let me know that you added one of those, and we'll talk about hotel stays. So let's talk a little bit about conference preparation. How are you going to get ready for conference? What should you pack in your suitcase? So of course, we want you to be comfortable during this conference. It's not a stuffy conference. You're going to be moving and having fun. One of the coolest parts about this conference is your traveling workshop. When you registered, you got to decide where you were going to go. Most conferences, you're just stuck inside those conference walls and you go a little stir crazy, but not with ours. Built into your conference registration, you get that cool traveling workshop. Maybe you're going to watch ice cream production. Maybe you're going to go on the fiber tour, or you're going to go explore bees and apple production. So whatever one you chose, you will get some specific instructions. Where Sarah and I are specifically thinking, if you signed up for the bee tour, there's some very specific clothing instructions that you're going to get when it comes to long shirts and what colors to wear or not to wear. General though, if you don't get one of those notes, or it's not outlined in your description, or you don't get an email about it beforehand, generally closed-toed shoes are good. Most tours, it's not a big deal. Some of them you might be in food processing areas, so it is a little more important, but I would wear casual clothes, prefer closed-toed shoes, but hey, if you feel good in your Birks, wear those too, something with a sturdy sole, and maybe even a light jacket. We just never know what the weather's going to be that day. There will be water provided on the bus, but if you feel like you're somebody who needs a little snack when you're out and about for a few hours, I would bring that too in just a small day bag. For the conference itself, we're like school day casual. We're like casual Friday at school. So feel free, jeans are totally fine. Whatever you would wear on, a casual Friday jean day at school is totally fine for this conference. And then of course, on your own, be casual. Any clothing questions? All right. So how else can you prepare for the conference other than what you're packing in your suitcase? Stay in touch with Sarah or I if you have any questions. It's always good practice just when you text one of us, so we flag it as we're kind of like in event mode. If you just say that this is Jeannie Cordo and I'm a scholarship winner and I have this question, that just flags it in our text inbox, and we'll make sure to get back to you right away. Now, you are one of the coolest features, and is a new feature to the conference as of last year, if you've been with us before, is we'll have a mobile app. It'll be super important that you download that app before you get to the conference center. I mean, you can download it there, but downloading it 2 weeks beforehand when you get the announcement email from National Ag in the Classroom will let you start building your agenda on your app. It'll let you look at all the conference workshops, their descriptions, speakers. The app is also interesting because it has interactive maps, so to help you find where you're going next for whatever workshop you really want to get to quickly. There'll be push notifications coming from that if there's a change or something exciting happening, like a book signing. So definitely download that before you come. To download the app, you're going to get instructions 2 weeks before the conference emailed to you. If we're like over 2 weeks out, getting close to conference and you haven't seen anything, let me know. I can get you all the information you need to log in. I should also mention there's like a news feed on that. So you're able to like connect with other people from across the country who are at the conference. So that's kind of a neat feature. You can share out photos and things. All right, so what about travel? How do I get there? With this conference, because we're in state, travel is on your own to Saratoga. So plane, train, automobile, however you're getting there is great. If you are taking the train, there is a train station in Saratoga. And then there are plentiful Ubers and Lyfts throughout the city. So if you don't feel like walking over with your bags, you can definitely grab one of those. We are providing you in that Dropbox link contact information and names of all the scholarship winners. That will hopefully help you find somebody who might be in your area. We know gas is $5 a gallon. So if you want to carpool together, we highly recommend that. And then you get to kind of know somebody before the conference starts. So we do encourage that when you get that list, see who's coming, who else is coming from your area. Now, we'll talk about this. We have lodging accommodations at 2 places. You'll either be at the Hilton, which is right there at the conference center, or you'll be at the Hampton, which is right across the road. If you are at the Hilton and you bring a vehicle, parking is $6 a day, and that is on your own. If you are at the Hampton, there is complimentary parking there. So for one, it's 1 car per room, but for those of you who are doing single rooms, you're mostly at the Hampton. So there's only going to be 1 car per your room anyway. So Hilton parking, $6 a day. Hampton Inn is complimentary. And then you'll pay that when you check out. So arrival, when you get to the conference center on Tuesday, the 28th, you go to your hotel, check in. You are going to get your confirmation number and your roommate's name. You'll both have each other's information. So you'll check in with that. They should be able to find either one of you very easily. And then if you do get there between 12 and 5 on Tuesday, you can get your conference materials right away. You'll get your program book, your bag, your badge. You'll get your t-shirt if you pre-ordered one. So that's going to be open 12 to 5 on Tuesday, or you can come first thing in the morning and get it on Wednesday before breakfast. Now, if you do decide to come around dinner hours on Tuesday, that dinner is on your own. So there's only 2 meals that are on your own throughout your conference experience. That's Tuesday dinner and Wednesday dinner. And I just put in some photos here. This is what the city center looks like. So this is the building you'll be looking for if you're driving in or walking in. This is where a lot of the conference happenings are. You can enter in any time there. If you're staying at the Saratoga Hilton, there are two entrances. One is the Broadway entrance, which has this this green covered entryway, which is right on Broadway. And then there's also, if you're parking and walking in, you'll see this glass fronted lobby area. You'll walk through these double doors and down the hall to register. If you're staying at the Hampton, right across the road, this is the building that you'll look for, and parking is around the back of the building. Now, I just put in a little map here. If you're a map person, this big red circle is the Saratoga Springs City Center, the convention center that we'll be in. And of course, connected to it is the Saratoga Hilton. And across the road, here on this yellow star is the Hampton. So you can see there's public parking across here. It's actually a parking garage. And if you go through the parking garage, you can do a covered entryway right into the city center. So it's just hopping across the road, and you'll be able to get to the convention center in less than 5 minutes. So no driving required. And then, of course, I couldn't even put in all of amazing Broadway. But if you've ever been to Saratoga, you know there's lots of shopping and lots of restaurants and lots of fun happening all down this road here, all the way down Broadway and off the side streets. There's no short of entertainment. Of course, you can also drive or Uber to other fun places in the area, SPAC and the track and all sorts of cool things. So there's a lot of fun stuff happening in the area. So those are kind of our maps and photos. Now let's get into what's actually happening at the conference. So we have Wednesday kicks everything off. You're going to arrive Tuesday the 28th. But then you need to be in on Tuesday because things get started right at 7 a.m. with an opening breakfast. After we have an opening breakfast, we'll have some teachers who are honored during that breakfast. You're going to come to that breakfast in your casual clothes because you're going to move straight from breakfast onto a bus to your traveling workshop. We will be dismissing buses as they're ready to depart. And so departing will start 8 a.m. or before. So you'll eat a full breakfast and then be getting dismissed to head on your bus to whatever your traveling workshop is. If you do not remember what your traveling workshop is, it will be in two places that will help you remember where to get it. Number one, it'll be printed on your name tag. And number two, it'll be preloaded into your app. When you download your app and log in, it'll already be in there telling you which traveling workshop you're going on. So like I mentioned, traveling workshops will have water. Bring a snack if you need one. You're going to be returning by 12:15. That should give you enough time as you walk back. You'll return back to the city center. So when you walk back into the convention center, you're going to grab your box lunch. There will be one table that's set up and they'll have, if you have a vegetarian meal or a special meal card for the conference, you'll want to show that to get your meal. But they're going to have, some sandwich options. And then there's also a vegetarian option that'll be available. But if you have any other special dietary needs, you'll get a special card that you'll have with you for all of your meals during the entire conference. So you'll get off the bus, you'll get your meal, take your meal back to your room and freshen up and get ready because workshops start promptly at 1 o'clock at the hotel and convention center. So workshops will happen both in the Hilton and at the convention center, but it's all connected. They're not different buildings or too far away from each other. And then you'll have workshops through 5 p.m. Every hour, there's a different workshop. And at 5 p.m., that'll be the end of our workshops for the day, and you'll have dinner on your own. So reservations are recommended. You can make them that day is totally fine. If you find a group of people you want to go have dinner with, or maybe you get in touch with some people from that list. They're recommended, but not necessary. You can always find something good to eat. If you are just worried about your wait time, then, make a reservation. But if you're not worried about it and just want to explore and find what you can when you can, that's Saratoga also. If you bought a ghost tour ticket, you'll get special instructions about your time to go on your ghost tour. That is Wednesday in a nutshell. There's a lot of moving parts on Wednesday. So is there anything that I need to clarify or you have questions on for Wednesday? All right. Thursday. So this is a fun day. We're mostly on site during this day. There's a lot of great things going on. So remember those general sessions, those anytime we're serving you a meal, you have the option for CTLE, you'll get those. Each session will have a speaker or will be awarding teachers and hearing inspiring stories from national winning teachers. So that's all happening during any of those general sessions where you get a meal. So for example, our main keynote speaker this year is Peggy Thomas. She is an author actually from New York. You may know some of her books like Farmer George Plants a Nation. She also has written books about Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln. And her most recent book that has not even been released, but we are having 600 pre-release copies at the conference, is her book on Norman Borlaug. So hopefully that name rings a bell for you. If it doesn't, you should Google Norman Borlaug. And she wrote a book called Hero for the Hungry. So pre-release books are happening. The kind of cool thing this year about the conference is we're having 4 different book signings. So Peggy will be available to, she will be signing this book during the conference, and that will be pushed out in the app notifications. So you'll want to watch for that, or you can buy and have it signed. We also have Shannon Anderson, who wrote a book called It's Time for Strawberries, and she'll be signing books. And we have a author and presenter who has written about diversity in the classroom. He'll be signing. And then another keynote speaker who wrote about our changing diets and climate change. And he'll be selling and signing his books also throughout the conference. So we're excited for those. Now, you may have seen on your registration that we do a bingo fundraiser, and that happens on Thursday night after the keynote speaker. We kind of flip things around. You could have pre-purchased your bingo tickets. You can also buy them on site for the same dollars. So it's $20 a ticket, and there's 80 to 100 prizes that are awarded. So it goes pretty fast. It's fun. It's not for dollars, but all the different states bring prizes. So you might have books, be able to win books for your classroom. There's jewelry, there's apparel. There might be vermicompost, there's soil there. We've had people build book barns. There might be gift cards to the Ag Classroom store, so you can buy classroom resources, or people are donating kits or book bundles. So it's kind of fun. It goes fast. It's a good time. So if you want to play bingo, we'd love to have you. Now, also on Thursday, this is just a day of workshop sessions also. So pretty much morning to our evening reception, workshops will be happening. Now, there's a lot of 9 different workshops going on at one time. On your mobile app, you'll be able to access the presentations for any workshop happening at the conference. So the presenters are uploading their presentations. You can download those and review those, and any supplemental handouts they're handing out. So even if you really wanted to go to aeroponics, but you also wanted to go to a dairy workshop, you can get the information for both. I'm really going to plug and push the lunch session on Thursday. So if you know our Commissioner of Agriculture, Richard Ball, he's our first farmer, and he is going to be giving a welcome address. So we always love Commissioner of Ag, Richard Ball. He's a great guy. We also have a New York teacher being honored. One of our teachers earned a national award from USDA. She, along with others, will be telling their inspiring stories about what they do in their classroom. So you definitely want to see all of that. And it's just the best meal function, my favorite by far. And there'll be a keynote address from USDA. So pretty exciting. Now the evening we'll have an evening reception. And I haven't even mentioned that throughout the conference, you'll have time to meet a bunch of different exhibitors. So there'll be people giving away things. You'll be able to explore a mobile maple experience, look at different grow rack systems, and just meet a lot of different people in industry who have a presence at the conference. And they'll be there with booths throughout the conference. So that evening reception is with them. There'll be lots of food. And we also have King Brothers Dairy, who has a homemade ice cream from their dairy farm just north of Saratoga Springs. They're coming down and scooping ice cream for everyone. So that's all included, and it'll be a pretty fun time. You get to try some homemade ice cream from the region. And then you'll go into dinner, of course. So there's going to be lots of snacks and food at the conference. You won't go hungry. Now, finally, that was Thursday. This brings us into Friday. So it'll be important that you check out of your hotel in the morning. You want to have your bags out, check out with the hotel before that breakfast session, because your hotel checkouts are about 11 a.m. and the conference doesn't end until 1 p.m. So make sure you get all of your stuff out of your room before then. So you'll come to the breakfast session with a keynote. It's the climate change and our changing diets and how our plates are changing because of climate. That's going to happen at the breakfast session. And then you'll move into mini workshops, and mini workshops are fast and furious and fun. So for the time frame, there's 2 sets of minis. In those sets of mini workshops, there are 9 different workshops happening, and they are repeated 3 times, but they're only for 20 minutes each. So it's not a full lesson you may get, but it's an idea or something inspiring to do in your classroom. So those are kind of fun inspiration. They move fast and are fun. You can go to 3 the first round, and then 3 different workshops the second round. And then finally, we'll move into our closing lunch. We'll have some entertainment at that lunch, and we'll say goodbye to Saratoga Springs, and we'll say hello to where the conference is going to be held next year. And you'll get a little gift at that time. So to get you excited for next year's conference. So that's Friday in a nutshell. And then about 1 o'clock, we're done with the conference and you'll head home. As it comes to schedule, are there any questions or thoughts? All right.
I had a question. Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. Perhaps you mentioned this earlier, but if you had a pre-tour, whether it was to the Adirondacks, that happens on Tuesday morning before we start the workshops, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And so if you did sign up and pay for one of those tours, let me know and we'll coordinate your room, because that'll just be us changing your reservation.
Okay. And also, I was on I guess the website, and I registered for certain classes. Are those the classes that's going to be on my mobile app?
So that is a great question and a great point of clarification. If you went on the website and we're looking at the agenda, and here, let me show you right here. So this is where you were looking at all the awesome, great workshops, and you have the option to add it to my agenda.
Yes.
This is only for print only. It does not translate over to your app. So just because you haven't logged in anywhere, so you would add it to your agenda on your app. This is just if you wanted to bring a printed copy of the workshops you wanted to go to.
Okay, so I basically have to do it over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. Now do remember that all of the workshops are first come, first serve. So if you add these to your agenda, it does not give you a ticket to that workshop. It's just gauging, it's just helping you keep track of, out of the 9 options in a 1-hour slot, which one do I want to go to? So it's more for your personal agenda. The only one that you have a ticket to is that traveling workshop. So if you were going to sign up for Saratoga or Cheese Please or Buzz on Apples, you have a seat on that bus.
Okay.
Any of these other additional workshops, these are when the room fills, the door will close. So if you think it's going to be popular, you do want to make sure that you put your bag in your seat, or make sure you get over there. And sometimes they allow for standing room, but it's really preferred that everyone has a seat. The capacity of those rooms are about 80 people per room.
I see that some of them said sold out, so it won't be available on the mobile app now.
No. So these that are sold out, traveling workshop TW,
Yeah, that's the
these
one
are
I
all,
need.
yep, these are all pre-registered. So you had to sign up for one of these when you registered.
I
Now, yep, now you can go in and modify your registration at any time. If you were, say you signed up for Saratoga Springs, you have a seat on that sold out bus, but you're like, I really don't think I want to look at horses. I want to look at vegetables and strawberries. You can say, I want to modify my registration. You can click out of horses, click onto fruit, veggies, and fun, and then it would make one spot available in Saratoga Springs. So if somebody wanted to then logged in and wanted to change their registration or added a new registration, that means that there's one more ticket left in that bucket that somebody could grab. So it's just like a declining bucket system. So if you take one out of the bucket, there's a seat available. So you can go on, you could change at this point. The only 3 traveling workshops that are available, which is when you get on the bus on Wednesday morning, are going to the sod farm and to a grain farm. And this one is going to a community garden and a fruit and vegetable farm. And this one is going to a woman-owned equipment dealership, a farm equipment dealership, and a cut and dried flower farm. Those are the only 3 that are available right now. But people can go in and modify their registrations anytime. You never know. These are all live. So if you're looking at the agenda and you're like, ooh, strolling through, there's a spot available, strolling through Saratoga, I really wanted that one. Go in, modify your registration, and then you can get a seat on that tour. Does that make sense?
But I know I'm being repetitive, but only when you get the app, the mobile app, you can do this. When I registered, I have to just do it over. Nothing was held for me.
No, your traveling workshop was held. So when you download the app, it'll tell you that Donna signed up for Farm to Fork with Beef. That's already added into your schedule.
Okay.
Yep. But none of these other workshops that are on site, hydroponics, anything, maple, these are not in you don't pre-register for those. So you just go to that room.
Okay.
When you want to go to that workshop during that time slot, you just have to get to Adam Wild's workshop. You don't have to pre-register for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. That's a good question. Any other questions about schedule, logistics at the conference? Well, I'm going to pop this back up quickly. So post-conference, what happens? You go home, you look at all the goodies that you got from the conference, all your cool free stuff. And as you can see here, this is one of the actual workshops from a few years ago, last time we were in person. And your workshops are hands-on. You will be moving, you will be doing activities during those workshops, you will be creating whatever it is they were creating in here. And then you usually bring materials and items home. So that's the coolest part about this conference. You're teaching hands-on, and then you're going to be learning hands-on during this conference. So save some room in your bags to bring cool stuff home. Now you're going to get a follow-up email from our team, and it's going to say, we hope you had a great conference. If you would like CTLE, please fill out this form. This form is going to be where you tell us which sessions and workshops you went to. We give you 1 hour of instruction for every session that you went to, and traveling workshops are worth more because you were doing a 3-hour experience. So we will take your total number, we will add it up, and Sarah will be sending you a CTLE certificate. We collect information that's on your Teach profile, and to make sure that you can easily upload that. Which you might also find post-conference for us. We're always here and always excited to help you with your new ideas you gathered at the conference. We'll probably do a mid-year check-in and just say, hey, have you implemented anything? What's changed in your classroom? Or what are you still looking for? Just to make sure that you enjoyed your experience and are seeing the value back in your classroom. And it's also good for us, so we can tell our funders the impacts that it's having on actual students in New York State. I would also, I have 2 other announcements, but we'll just leave it to questions. What other questions do you have? I would encourage you to make sure you fill out your gift form. We'll want to place those orders relatively soon, so make sure you fill out that form and tell us your information for your gift. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me know. And we'll get those orders in. You'll get that gift at conference. We're always excited to give you some Ag in the Classroom swag. And I have one additional announcement but before I do that, any other burning questions?
Was the gift form something we should have already received?
Yeah, so it should have been in the email that gave you the link for this webinar. So if you go to the bottom of that, there's a jot form link for your gift.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so my last announcement, because you are all a group of people who are motivated and excited to do things with Ag in the Classroom, is I do want to let you know we do have another exciting CTLE experience around STEM and beef. That's happening this early August 1 to 4, and it's going to be held in Central New York. This is an overnight experience, no charge to you. And it will be an on-farm beef experience. So, and how you connect STEM to your classroom with agriculture. So you'll be visiting farms, processing centers, and also working with chefs to identify these different areas and opportunities to connect your curriculum with beef. We'll be doing hands-on lessons. You'll be leaving with kits and resources. And I believe, Sarah, is there 22 CTLE hours tied to that?
Yes, 22 hours.
So this is an application opportunity, and we still have lots of spots available. So this is, again, in Central New York. I will put the link in our follow-up to sign up for that experience. And we are going to be selecting those soon. So could be for an individual teacher or a team of teachers. So if you have a couple teachers from your school that you think would like to come to that experience this summer, we'd love to have you. Anything else you'd add about that, Sarah?
I think you pretty much covered it all, but we're really excited to host you guys. And even if this doesn't seem like a fit for you, please pass it on to other teachers in your building and in your network, just so we can kind of spread the understanding of beef and beef in the classroom.
So again, that's all expense paid, all meals, lodging. You just get yourself there, and we'll provide the experience connecting with chefs, farmers, and processors. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, Sarah and I will stay on for just a moment more if you have another question. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to have you at the conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
So Katie, I just wanted to make you aware, I am going for my ag certification, but I'm not done yet. So
Awesome.
that's
Yeah, you're
okay
still
still, right?
ours. You're still ours.
Yeah, okay.
Until you get certified as an ag teacher, there's another path you'll follow.
Right.
So like, yeah, they had their own registration pathway at a separate meeting on Tuesday.
Okay.
I'll still claim you.
At least until the end of June.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, Patricia Eshelman was in the same spot. She was our
Oh.
national winning teacher of the year, and then days later became
Right.
an ag teacher. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure you knew.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. See you soon.